Hello everyone, hello YouTube, welcome back to another video on Neverness, Everness. Today we are going to take a look into Haniel, this little girl here. She's the best generalist support in game. I call her the Neverness to Everness version of Bennett from Genshin. Basically, she's a team-wide quick swap supporter. So what she does is her E drop something on the ground, and then that something will buffs everyone within range. So she doesn't need to be on field. So she the E buffs like the character who is currently doing the attacking, and then her Q also grants another team-wide attack buff, and her Q extend the duration of your E. So I'll show you in combat. So we start with the Q. And then your E drop this owl thingy on the ground, and then you swap over basically to another character. And whenever your on-field character attack 4 times, you'll see the pulse from Hootie, and that pulse is a psychic damage to everyone that is around the owl. But that's not really important because whenever the owl is present, your team will get a attack buff, and that is basically what you use her for. Whenever your on-field character is done attacking, you swap back to Haniel and then just repeat the same thing. Just use Q, 1 team buff, and then use E, a 2nd team buff, and then her job is done, and then just swap over to whoever that you need is on field. So that was Haniel's combat mechanic. Basically, you use Q, E, apply 2 attack team buff, and then swap over to another character, and then rinse and repeat. Now we're just going to take a closer look at her special things about her skill that I didn't get to show in the combat showcase. So for her expert, which is the expert skill, she relies on Nova. So this is yet another team-wide attack buff. So whenever she applies Nova, she will drain attack from enemy and then gives the attack to your own team. So if you don't have Nova, Nova is her element and chaos, Psyche and chaos to apply Nova. So that's one special thing about her, and then that's pretty much it. I don't think there's anything else about your awakening. You want to go for 2 and 6. 2 increase the awakening of your E, and then 6 increase 6 reduces the cooldown of your E. So you want to go for 2 and 6. And number 1, 3, 4, and 5 is for if you want to play increase the DPS. If you want to play DPS Haniel, which I do not know why you would want to do that. So just remember the awakening is 2 and 6. And then for her up is because she's a quick swap character, she's often off field. So her best arc is blow up the crowd. Because when this effect is whenever the wearer is off field, increases the active character's attack by 2% and can go up to 4 stacks. So around like 20 something %. So this is like perfect with her playstyle. How you can blow up the crowd is basically you go to, you can, if I can see, you have to defeat this boss, Rhythm Master. You just click on him and then just click here if you haven't fought him, and then the game will guide you to where he is. He is basically here, the Beat King. So you defeat him the first time, and then he will drop the arc for you, and that arc is perfect for Haniel. And for Haniel's console, she wants Speedy Hedgehog, because her whole thing revolves around her ultimate, because her ultimate buff your team damage and increases the duration of your E. So you want to make sure that her ultimate is up as often as long as possible. And one thing unique about her is because her skill, her buff depends on her flat rate. If you look here, you see here, grants team and attack bonus based on Haniel's base attack. So she doesn't really need any attack buff because she only relies on, if you see here, she relies on, her buffs relies on the white part of the numbers. So in this case, 299. And the additional, in this case, 116 doesn't apply to her buff. So she doesn't need that. So for her console, you want Speedy Hedgehog because it increases, gets ultimate faster, and then the legendary increase all attack by 15% when she casts her ultimate. So get that, and then for the for what you need to go for charge rate, charge efficiency, because you want to get her out as soon as, like, as often as possible, and then the crit rate perhaps and crit damage if you for that, and then you don't need attack attack damage, attack those things is unnecessary. So basically you don't even need to upgrade her console because you only want to get the effect here, because leveling up her console gives you like the stats, and the stats doesn't work with her skill, so it's completely unnecessary. Just get the set that you need and then don't need to upgrade, just leave her with that. That's it. And for her teammates, basically she can go into any other team. The only thing special about her, unique about her kit is the Nova stuff that we saw here, the support Nova. But if you don't have that unlocked, or if you don't have Nova, it's perfectly fine. That's just like an additional buff. So Nova, she means that she's tied to Daffodil, because Daffodil is the only chaos character in the game at the moment. So if you don't take Daffodil, that's not much loss. You just don't have that extra buff. So because her team buff is like, her buff is team wide and it's like flat attack buff, she can go into basically any team. Of course, her optimum team, if you want to use everything she has in her kit, you want her with like another chaos character, which currently in 1.0 is only Daffodil. So it's usually Haniel and Daffodil if you want to use her like everything in the kit. But if not, she has a generalist buffer. Anyone that uses attack is going to want her. So she's a good character to train and to have. And since her kits revolve around her base attack, so you want to raise her level, because her level increase will increase her base attack damage. And that's all. If you have any question or any suggestion on which character I should cover next, please remember to leave a comment and like and subscribe. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day.